DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day. This is DFA Online and I'm your host for today, Steph Vicente. The Philippine Embassy in Portugal took part in an international roundtable on promoting peace and social cohesion held at the CAICID headquarters in Lisbon. The event gathered ambassadors and senior diplomats from the Asian Diplomatic Corps to discuss interfaith dialogue, preventive diplomacy, and regional cooperation. In opening remarks, CAICID Secretary General Antonio de Almeida Ribeiro stressed that dialogue is now essential to strengthening social resilience and collective security. Philippine Ambassador to Portugal Paul Raymond Cortes highlighted the country's long-standing efforts in peace building, including its role in advancing interfaith dialogue at the United Nations. Ambassador Cortes pointed to the Bangsamoro Organic Law as an example of how inclusive governance can balance self-determination with national unity. He also emphasized the importance of ASEAN-led initiatives and grassroots engagement, particularly involving youth and civil society in sustaining peace. Other participants called for expanding dialogue efforts across regions and increasing the participation of women and young leaders. The roundtable concluded with a shared commitment to strengthening diplomatic engagement and inclusive dialogue to promote stability and peaceful coexistence.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
In other news stories, the Philippine Embassy in Spain held a meet and greet event for Filipina author Marga Ortigas as part of activities surrounding the Madrid Book Fair 2026. Organized in coordination with Amok Ediciones, the gathering brought together members of the Filipino community, literary enthusiasts, and supporters of Philippine culture in Spain. Attendees took part in discussions on literature, storytelling, and the Filipino experience, while also learning more about Ortigas' work on the international stage. The author interacted with guests and shared insights from her writing journey, highlighting the global reach of Filipino voices. A book signing session followed, giving participants a chance to meet Ortigas personally and have their copies signed. Embassy officials say the event is part of ongoing efforts to promote Filipino authors and strengthen cultural ties between the Philippines and Spain through the arts. Ortigas is also scheduled to appear at the Ivan de Vargas Library in Madrid on May 27 for another literary event. The embassy encourages the public to attend and continue supporting Filipino literature abroad.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Embassy in Belgium held a town hall meeting bringing together Filipino scholars, researchers, professors, and graduate students based across the country. The event, hosted by Philippine Ambassador to Belgium Jaime Victor Leda in Brussels, aimed to strengthen ties with the Filipino academic community and explore future collaborations. Representatives from the Philippine Department of Science and Technology and the Commission on Higher Education joined the discussions, along with officials from Philippine state universities. Key speakers included DOST Undersecretary Dr. Sancho Maborang, Assistant Secretary Napoleon Juanillo Jr., and CHED Commissioner Rickmar Aquino. During the forum, officials introduced initiatives such as the Balik Scientist Program, which encourages Filipino experts abroad to contribute to national development. Participants also shared ideas on boosting partnerships between Philippine and Belgian institutions, particularly in research and innovation. Discussions highlighted the importance of academic exchanges, mobility programs, and stronger engagement with overseas Filipino academics. The gathering also drew additional officials from DOST, CHED, and various Philippine universities, underscoring broad support for international academic cooperation.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
In other news stories, the Philippine Embassy in France, led by Philippine Ambassador Eduardo Jose de Vega, recently visited Maison Nipa, a Filipino-French fusion restaurant gaining international recognition. Located in the city of Le Mans, the restaurant has been included in the Michelin Guide selection for 4 consecutive years in the Gault and Millau Guide for 2026. Owned by chefs Sharon Deglatin and Jason Leglatin, Maison Nipa offers a unique menu that blends French cuisine with Filipino flavors. Signature dishes include pinangat gray mullet, Filipino-style curry asparagus, lamb mami, and a leche flan tartlet. Since opening in 2022, the restaurant has earned praise for its innovative approach, with Michelin calling it a divine surprise and Gault and Millau highlighting its emotional and meticulous culinary style. The restaurant has also received the Young Talent 2023 recognition, further cementing its growing reputation. Embassy officials say establishments like Maison Nipa help showcase Filipino culinary heritage abroad while offering a taste of home to Filipinos in France. They add that such efforts strengthen cultural ties and promote greater appreciation of Philippine cuisine on the global stage.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And finally, labor officials from the Philippines and the Netherlands are working closely to ensure the safety of Filipino crew members aboard the vessel MV Hondius. Philippine Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak met with Dutch Deputy Secretary General Hans Dokter to discuss ongoing efforts to safeguard the health and welfare of 38 Filipino seafarers currently under quarantine in the Netherlands. Secretary Kakdak expressed the Philippine government's appreciation for the Netherlands' swift response, including medical screening and testing, which confirmed all crew members tested negative for hantavirus. Philippine Ambassador to the Netherlands, J. Eduardo Malaya, also visited the second group of crew members upon their arrival earlier this month while observing health protocols. Officials from both governments, including representatives from labor, foreign affairs, and health agencies, took part in the coordination efforts. Dutch authorities reported that the situation is well managed, with conditions for the crew described as stable. Secretary Kakdak also met with representatives of Oceanwide Expeditions and Wagenburg and the Dutch companies managing the vessel. Both sides say coordination will continue to ensure the crew's safe return to the Philippines once their quarantine period is completed.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And that concludes today's edition of DFA Online. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.